Hello, my dear students. Let's start with the next chapter from the first module, that is functions. The chapter 3 from your textbook is about functions, which is the third chapter from the first module. So, already you have gone through the using of a functions, creating of the functions, and using the built in functions from the other programming languages as well. But in this video, we shall see how we can use the same concept of the functions in Python. So, in the earlier chapters, you might be familiar in writing the program using the print function, input function, and the length function, which are said to be as the built-in functions over here. So, why these are termed as a functions? So, these are going to perform some task when you ask when you ask them to do, they are going to give you some kind of the output for which they have been written as a program. For example, if you use the print function, so you are asking or your intention is to display something on the screen. Suppose if you use the input function, you are expecting something to be read as an input from the keyboard. And suppose if you are using a length function, your intention or the program of this length function has been written in such a way that it is going to give you the total number of characters from the string. So like this, even there are the many other plenty of the built-in functions supported by the Python. So not only the built-in functions, you are in the Python also, you are also allowed to write your own function, which is said to be as a user-defined function. So in short, a function is like a mini program within a program here. But what is the basic syntax that is required for defining a function in Python is, so def is the keyword that is required to define the any function. So def tells that whatever the name that you are going to take after this is said to be as the name of the function here. So def followed by the space and followed by the name of the function of your choice. But the restriction is it should not be the name of the built-in function. So you can take the any name of your choice apart from the built-in methods and followed by the parenthesis. So parenthesis is a mandatory in front of the name of the function and followed by the colon, and with the proper indentation you can write the body of that function here. So what is the body is the all the task or the executable statements that you want to cover or that you want the this function to execute as a body is said to be is the body of that function here. So in this simple example, we have taken simply three print statements where it is going to print some text here, that is howdy and hello there. So this entire part right from the def till the body of the function is said to be as the function definition here. So only defining this function is not sufficient. So once you define that function, the next thing is you need to call the function. It is exactly the same way as whenever you host any function in your home, either it may be a family function or any the birthday parties and all. So until and unless you call or invite someone, no one is going to visit to your function, isn't it? So in the same way here, once you define the function, so the statements will not be executed automatically until and unless they are invoked explicitly after the definition of the function here. So you can see here in the third part here, so hello has been called. So with the parenthesis, this statement says that you are invoking this function. You are asking to execute the body of this function. So for how many times it has been invoked? It has been invoked for the three times. That means three times this definition, the body of the hello function is going to be executed here. So let's see what output we'll get for it. So here you can see howdy hello there. This is the one execution. Howdy hello there. This is the second execution. Howdy hello there. This is the third execution. Why it has been executed for the three times? Because here in this example it has been called for the three times. So basically as a syntax, what you need to remember here is, do remember that you can define the function using the keyword def followed by the name of the function, and always the name of the function needs to be followed by the parenthesis and the colon. So no matter whether you have the parameters or the arguments to your function, even if you do not have anything, just include the empty parenthesis followed by a colon, and with the proper indentation the body of the function. So all the statements to be covered in the body of the function needs to have maintained a proper indentation over there. So once the body has been defined, once the function has been defined, if you want to execute the statements of this function explicitly, the function has to be invoked by calling the name of the function here. So while calling the name of the function, you need not have to use the def keyword. So instead, you have to just take this name of the function and press the enter. That itself will tell that the body of the function needs to be executed here. So let's see the same example. How does it is going to be written if you, in case if you want to use the any parameters here. Excuse me. So here you can see the same function has been defined. So within the parenthesis, you can see the parameter has been used here. That means you have the intention to pass some argument to it so that this can be utilized while using or while writing the body of that function here. You can see def followed by the name of the function is hello, and within the parenthesis you have the parameter to be passed here and followed by the colon. So as a body here, you can see print hello within the string plus this is a concatenation operator and the name. So this name is nothing but the parameter that you have passed in. So make sure that whenever you define the any function where it is expecting the parameter, while calling that function, make sure that you pass the parameters or the arguments here. So in the third case, in the third point, you can see here hello within the this one parenthesis, you need to pass the argument here. So this string Alice is nothing but the argument which in turn will be placed into the variable name, and that will be filled here in the within the body here. So that means when you call this function with the argument, this argument is going to be passed to the name of the variable what you have taken within the parameter here. So same way in the second example also, when you call hello with the bob as an argument, this bob value will be filled into the variable name, and which one it will be fetched here to print it. So you can see as a result it is going to print as a hello Alice and the hello Bob. So let's see the execution here. So let me define it here. Def hello. I just want to take the parameter here. See, this is the this is the syntax that you need to follow here. Def keyword followed by the space and followed by the name of the function what you want to define, and the parameter colon is the mandatory. Press enter. Simply I just want to print here hello plus a name, the name of the parameter, and here wherever you are using that name is needs to be same here. Press enter now. So I'll just call that function by taking the name of that function hello, and since it is expecting a one parameter here, I'm going to pass the value here as a Alice. So I'll just press enter. So you can see here this Alice will be passed here, and this is going to be fetched and filled over here. So in turn it is going to print as a hello Alice. So meanwhile I'll take one more time here hello and just take it as a Harish. So you can see the same value is going to be passed. This is just a very simple example to tell you or to just be familiar that how you can define the function in Python and how you can define the function by using the parameters here. So let's see the next part of the functions, that is how you can return the values and the statements here. So in the previous examples, what we have seen, whenever we have defined the function and whenever you call the function, so the display of the result is going to be meant as a part of the body of the function here. But there are some cases while writing the function where you require some values needs to be returned back when you call that function. So that is done with the keyword return here. So you will see here what has been done here in Python. When you call the length function and pass it as an argument such as a hello, the function call evaluates to the integer 5. That means when you call the function by passing the hello, so in turn it is going to give you the result as a total number of the characters, that is 5, which is the length of the string. So in general, the value that function call evaluates to is called the return value of that function. So the length function which gives the total number of the characters is nothing but the return value of this length function here. So in the same way, whenever you are creating the user defined function, you can also return some value. How it can be done is, the first point is you can use the return keyword, the value or the expression that function should return. So let's see with an example how it is done here. So you can see here function a module has been imported here as a random. So a def keyword has been used in order to create a user defined function known as a get answer, and this get answer function is expecting a one parameter with a variable name as an answer number. So don't worry about the logic within this function here. So it is a very simple logic where ranging from the number 1 to 9. So suppose if the user is giving the any one of the value between the 1 and 9, so it is supposed to return some string value here. For example, if the number is 1, return it is a certain. Else if the number is 2, it has to return it is decidedly so. If the number is 3, it has to simply return yes. 4, reply has it try again. 5, for 5 it has to return ask again later, and so on. So don't worry about for what it is written. This example is just to show you that how you can return the values here. So whenever you are defining this function, you are saying that if the number is 1, simply by using the return keyword. So this is a return keyword. This can be used whenever you want to return any value back to the function wherever it has been called here. So here you can see it is returning a string here. So this part right from the if to the last else if, this is entirely the body of this function, that is get answer here. So let's see how it is done here. So r is equal to random dot rand int of 1 comma 9. Here you are So here you are calling that function with that one variable. Why? Because it is returning something. So you require a one variable where you can store whatever the value has been returned by this function here. So you can see r is equal to random dot rand int of 1 comma 9. That means you are just generating a number from the range 1 comma 9. That means this particular line is going to generate a random number between 1 and the 9. So whatever the value is generated by here, it will be stored in a variable r, and here you can see one more variable has been taken, fortune, just to get the result back from the function get answer. So with the help of this variable, you are calling this function name get answer, where you are passing the same value which has been generated and stored in the variable r. So what does this is going to do is, this is going to call this function by passing some number over there, and whatever the value that is being returned by this function will be stored in a variable known as a fortune. So at the last you are going to print this value. So what why this example has been shown over here is just to tell you, or just to demonstrate you, that how you can use the return functions within the user defined functions. So this is the way how you can use the return function here. So the same example where you have generated a random number and stored it in a variable r, and then you are passing this r into the function parameter, that is the get answer function parameter r. Then you are calling it to the into the new variable as a fortune, and then you are printing this value. So all these three lines can be clubbed and taken into a single line in this way. Print, call this function directly get answer name, and use this statement directly as a parameter into the get answer function. This way is also can be used instead of writing it differently. So how it has to be written, or which is the right way, is not the thing over here. Is here the thing is, whichever the way is convenient to you people, you can go for the either of these two ways here. So coming to the none value, so there are some functions where by default they are going to give the none value. So the none value is the only one value which is represented with the spelling as a NONE, with the N being a capital here. So for example, you can see here the print function has been called here with some variable, so which is allowed here in the Python. So spam is equal to print hello, so where it is going to display the hello, but it is not going to store anything into this variable as a spam. So if you want, you can check it out. Simply if you type it as a spam, again you are not going to get any value. So when you compare this spam variable to the value none, so it is going to give you the true result. That means by default, whenever you use the any function where it is not going to return anything in the Python, by default it is going to return with the value as a none, which is not explicitly displayed on the screen. So I just want to show it here. So I'll just take any variable, random variable, x is equal to print of something hi. So you can see here hi has been displayed, but if I show you what value has been stored in the x variable, if you print it, probably you will not be able to get anything over here. But if you compare this x is equal to none value, so how the none value is going to be checked? N being a capital letter, NONE. If you check, you can see the value is true. That means you just remember here that in the Python, or if the function, any of the function, either it may be the built-in function or the user defined function, if it is not going to return anything, it is going to by default return the none value. Keyword arguments and the print here. So along with the just a parameter, you can also certainly use the certain key arguments along with the parameters here. So let's see what is done here. So the most of the arguments are identify their position in the function call. For example, so random dot rand int 1 comma 10 is different from the random dot rand int 10 comma 1. Why? Because suppose if you call this is the order that you are passing as the arguments here. That is, you want to generate a random number which is in the range from 1 to 10, which is acceptable here. But in the same way, if you use the same function, but the order of the arguments here is different. So your intention is 1 and 10, 1 being the first argument and 10 being the second argument. So in case if you pass the 10 being the first argument and 1 being the second argument, for this function you will certainly get an error here. Why? Because you cannot tell to randomly select a range from the highest number to the lowest number here. So that's why it has been given here. This example is given here is, so whenever you pass the any arguments to any of the functions, either it may be the built-in functions or the user defined functions, make sure that the order of the arguments is going to play a very important role here. Keyword arguments are identified by the keyword put before them in the function call. So keyword arguments are often used for the optional parameters. So for example, see this print function here. So what has been done here? Print hello, print world has been done. World has been done. Right. So one more thing I haven't told you yet here. I just want to show you here. So whenever you use the print function, by default, the print function is going to display it on the new screen. So for example, you can see here print hello. So I'll just press the enter here. It is printing on a new line here. So here it might not be clear. Let me take a file here. So I'll just take the two print statements here. Print hello. And one more print I'll take world. Right. So you can see here I haven't used any of the new line characters here. You might be having a practice of using the new line characters in the other programming languages, but here I have not used any new line characters, even though it is going to display one below the other. That means by default, every time you use the print statement, it is going to take that statement to be displayed on the new line. So you need not have to separately use the new line characters here. So let me save this here. I just randomly take any name over here. So I'll run this function and check out. So you can see here the output has been displayed one below the other, even though if you have not used the new line character here. So for this, what needs to be done? So how we can avoid that? How we can avoid that the new line characters should not be taken by default here. So for this, you have one more argument in the print statement where you can use here end function. So let us see how it can be done here. So here in front of the hello, one more parameter that you can use is a end. So end parameter will tell that how it has to be terminated, how the display of this message needs to be terminated. So take the end as a argument name equal to and no space. So these are nothing but just a single quotes without the space here. So let us see how does it will be displayed here. So you can see here, is it visible? So you can see here what I have done here. Hello followed by the end or the without space single quotes. That means I want to tell that hello needs to be displayed, but you should not it should not the next print should not start with the new line character. Instead both has to be concatenated. So this is how you can use this keyword over here. So one more possibility is there. One more possibility is there. I just want to print something else. Print so cat dog rat. So let's say how does it is displayed here. So you can see here the cats, dogs, and rats has been displayed just the way they have taken in the print statement, like cat space dog space rat. But what is our intention is we want to display all these things together, just separated by the comma here. So for that you have the one more parameter that you can use here. You can see here separate is the parameter you can use in the print statement. So the parameter is nothing but the value for this parameter is the separator that you want to include between the strings that you have taken in the print statement here. So that means these are the delimiters. Whatever the value that you take into the separator argument is, this is the delimiter that is going to be put between the strings that is being displayed in the print statement here. So let me show this in the program itself. So I'll take the separate is equal to the value for this separate is I just want to take the comma over here. So you can see here previously how it got displayed when you have not taken the separate argument in the print statement is it just simply took those strings to be displayed with a space included over there. So if you want to put any delimiters in between these strings, you can do it by using the separator as an argument in the print statement. I'm speaking about within the print statement. Both the arguments end and the separator are used within the print functions. So end is used to avoid the new line characters which is going to be included default with the print statement. The separator is used to put some delimiters with the strings that are going to be displayed here. So in this example we have taken a comma as a delimiter to be put between these three strings here. So which is done here. You can see cats comma dogs comma rats. So earlier when the separate argument was not used, it just displayed as a cat space dogs space writes. So this is what is the difference when you use the two keywords or the arguments in the print statements here. These two are going to play a very important role whenever you are going to write the complex program. So further concepts we'll cover in the next video.